Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your flight attendant on Toastmasters International Airlines, Flight 30N2020 around Namibia. Toastmasters International's mission is we empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. Welcome to Swk Toastmasters Airports Company, where we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Here are some house rules. I trust you know that where your bathrooms are. If you don't, please do not contact the complaints departments as they have dropped off the Zoom. Please make sure you keep your finger off the red emergency exit button, else we will lose you too. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best airlines in the world, Toastmasters International Airlines. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to welcome our host of this event, President and CEO of Swakopmund Toastmasters Airport, CEO, Mr. Eric Mans.
Please help me welcome tonight the Toastmaster of the evening as the captain of our Toastmasters International Airlines, Flight 30N 2020 around Namibia, the one and only Captain Granny B 007. Please help me welcome Granny to the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I would like to inform you that as your captain, we are very privileged here in Namibia to fly Toastmasters International Airlines, the best airlines in the world. We take you places faster than you have ever dreamed or imagined. We take you places in the comfort of your own home. Well, if you need to be at the office, in the comfort of that too. With Toastmasters International flights, you have an opportunity to connect with different networks. And as you do that, you might find yourself zooming in and out, dropping on and off. Well, should that be happening in this flight, don't worry. We have very competent flight attendants that will let you back into the room again, and you will be able to enjoy this flight further with us.
And for this meeting, our word of the day is valorous or valorous, which means showing great courage in the face of danger.
With his own tweet, I want to warmly welcome Mr. Peck, our International President. Please charge your glasses and rise and toast with me to the visit of the International Toastmaster President, Mr. Richard Peck, and help me welcome him in our midst, wishing him inspirational leadership in success for this year, to our International Toastmaster President, Mr. Richard Peck.
Well, thank you. It is my honor and privilege to be with you today. The pandemic has allowed us to look at new ways of getting in touch with our members, and the world tour was my idea to be able to meet with our members, understand your needs more, and really learn about our organization. This is my first trip to Namibia, be it virtual or real, so I appreciate that. And as I look across the room and see old friends like Nikki Quinn, who's in the upper corner of my screen right now, and those individuals who have supported me along the way, this is my small effort to be able to support you. So it is truly an honor to be with you today and to hear the great speakers of this club and to see what you have to offer to your members. So thank you for accepting the invitation to be able to meet with your club, the only club in Namibia that I will be visiting.
In his speech, A Leadership Metamorphosis, our speaker will reflect on how his leadership style has changed and grown as a result of this global pandemic, and offer some suggestions for us to use on our journey. Please join me in welcoming our speaker, Mr. Richard E. Peck, with his speech, A Leadership Metamorphosis.
Thank you, Madam Toastmasters and members of this club. All of our speakers will be valorous today in that there's no real danger other than what the evaluation is going to prove out. So I'm looking forward to hearing from everybody and listening to what they present today. Leadership is a journey that seems to be always evolving. From our first day as attempting to be a leader to our later experiences in which we still attempt to be a leader. I use that metamorphosis of a butterfly to relate to leadership. So when we think about the first stage, we're going to skip the egg stage because I think the egg stage for all of us is just taking on that role for the first time and saying that we'll take on a leadership role. For me, the truly first stage, the getting your feet wet, multiple feet wet, if you will, is that stage of being a caterpillar. The caterpillar, as we know, is multi-legged and moves fairly slowly, but it gets to its destination in time. When we start out in leadership, that's what we're doing. We're unsure. We're trying to run in a million different directions with our feet going everywhere. And we're a little bit slow to get to our destination. And that's because of our leadership style. So when I started out in leadership, my personality was what led my leadership style. So I like to go fast at things. I think that if I give you something to do, you should be able to go and just run with it without much direction, without much hand-holding. What I found was that I was running away from everybody and there was nobody following me. So I really wasn't leading. I was setting a pace that was comfortable for me, but not comfortable for others. And I think when we start in leadership, that is something that we tend to do. So I was a pace-setting leader to begin with. The problem with being a pace-setting leader is that if you don't look back over your shoulder to see who's with you, you may find that the only person you're leading is yourself. Then we start to evolve and we go into that chrysalis stage, that pupa stage, where we're starting to change from the caterpillar to our true leadership style, or what we think of as our true leadership style. And it's during that phase that a realization, that a metamorphosis starts to take place. And we start looking at leaderships a little bit differently. As we heard, a leader is someone who takes people to places they never thought they would go. For me, being a leader is helping people to achieve things that they never thought they could achieve because they feel that it's out of their reach. So during that transition page, during that chrysalis phase for me, it became more of a coaching style leadership. The need to help individuals realize their potential, to understand that they can achieve more than they can, but not to try to achieve it by themselves. That working together as a group will help everyone achieve more. So I went from that pace setting to where I'm outrunning everybody to realizing that now I need to coach people and bring them along. And as you look at the leaders within your club, as you look at the leaders within your district, they're working to bring each other along, supportive and encouraging, right? That's one of our mantras there. So it was that coaching leadership. And then as I came out of the chrysalis into the butterfly, if you will, again, there was a change in leadership style. And in the positions that I'm in now, in the positions on the board, it's more one of democratic leadership style, where it's not up to me to make the decision. Because when we hold levels of importance or what people perceive to be important, when we hold titles, we can be influencers, which is not what we need to do. We need to be guiders. So now being on the board, it's become more of a democratic leadership style in consensus building. And what do we feel is to the benefit for others? So for me, it's truly been a leadership metamorphosis from that caterpillar stage to this butterfly stage where I can now spread my wings a little bit. However, I think if you believe in reincarnation, at some point in time, I'm going to become a caterpillar again and relearn some new leadership skills and have to go through that metamorphosis. As leaders, reflect upon what you've done in the past. Reflect upon where you started. Watch your metamorphosis. Think about what you're trying to accomplish as a leader. But more importantly, think about what others are trying to achieve and help them get to their destination. Help them realize their change. Madam Toastmaster.
A vision. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our president and of course the CEO of the Swakopmund Toastmasters Airports Company, Mr. Eric Munz, as he gives feedback on a project. Please, let's welcome Eric Munz.
Fellow Toastmasters guests, tonight is my opportunity to give you feedback on a journey that I've just recently enjoyed. My plan was to arrange, manage, and organize the International Prepared Speech Contest at club level for Walvisbaai and Swakopmund.
Please help me welcome Lisa Hooks with How Dogs Might Catch Buses. Lisa Hooks.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. And good evening, my fellow Toastmasters from all over the place. Us Namibians love guests and we know how to entertain. And we appreciate all our non-Toastmaster guests. And then, of course, the royalty of Toastmasters, one very particular guest. We welcome you. I have to confess that I think I'm on a bit of a dopamine rush because I've spent about the last 4 weeks, working away on social media. And I can tell you that there is something in the statistics about getting addicted to social media, so beware, audience. And I just have to leave you with this last little bit. Toastmasters is the most fabulous opportunity to learn. I wish I could stand on the top of rooftops and shout it to whoever wants to listen. If you take these kind of projects seriously and you scare yourself a little, the amount that you get back in spades is worth tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars on the professional training market. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
when that was all said and done, now I have a book. I've learned what I'm going to be speaking. I need to start speaking. How do I do that? In comes social media project. And as I said, this project came about as I really wanted to reach out to my community. I wanted to offer some free products to them because I wanted them to finish 2020 strong. And now I would like to invite Lisa to switch on her camera and to just join me here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you. Now, if I look at the screen there, then I would like to say, I'd like to introduce you to my marketing agent, my social media marketing agent. You see, we had this little discussion. And then as we had the discussion, Lisa said, what did you say, Lisa?
B, I'm desperate. I've been looking for somebody who wants a complete ignoramus to do their social media program. Do you know of anybody who wants a free service?
And I said, me, would you please market Granny B? Because I have all this content that I want to write. And so, ladies and gentlemen, through this collaboration, we started a 21-day leadership coach challenge. And we were able to draw in various people. Lisa was the one that created all the beautiful adverts with rich content to draw people to the site. Do you know we formed a private Facebook group? And Lisa, what was it? In about 5 to 6 days, we almost had 100 people there. It was just amazing. And I need you to understand, we are not professional Toastmasters. We are using Toastmasters to grow our profession. What a beautiful way to do this.
For our speakers, we have Mr. Richard Peck, 7 minutes, 18 seconds.
And a really big welcome to District 74, to our International President, Richard Peck. Thank you so much for joining us. I think that this world tour is an incredible initiative. We certainly are going to be going forward using this to leverage advertising and to get as many non-Toastmasters to your visits as possible so that they can have this Toastmaster experience. But like any CEO, if Richard Branson was coming to Southern Africa, it would be a big deal. And coming for you to be coming to our district, we feel it's as big a deal. So thank you very much.
And so please help me welcome Ellery as she presents Mr. Richard E. Peck with an evaluation.
I was definitely not hilarious. I was nervous. Then I realized that evaluation is the core of Toastmasters and the core of the educational track of Toastmasters. In the beginning of this meeting, Mr. Peck, you said that we can address you as Richard. It was at that moment that I moved from nervous to hilarious. Richard, I really appreciate that deep, beautiful voice that you have. It had this calmness in it, and it captured me from the beginning right through this picture that you created of this caterpillar moving on and being a beautiful butterfly. Then I have to commend you also on your hand gestures. I love the way you used your hands and moved from the one side of the screen to the other side. And it also created that picture in my mind, being the caterpillar and then moved to this butterfly. And we also saw that there was a process in between. We didn't just switch immediately. There was a process in between. And I like that. Then last, the best that I took from your speech tonight, Richard, was when you said that leadership is not about being the center of attention, but it is about taking people to places that they never thought they will be. Thank you for enlightening us with this great speech, and having you here was an honor. Thank you, Mrs. Toastmaster. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Auri, for that wonderful, comprehensive evaluation. And I would like us to just have a look. Let me have the picture at the right hand. Can you see? You have been traveling through Namibia. Now, I can't go further because it'll disappear. But we have been in Windhoek. We've gone to Katima. We have gone across to the Ipapa Falls. We've come down the Skeleton Coast, and we are now here in Swakopmund Bay. We still have so much of Namibia. You were talking about leadership, taking people places, and that's something that you want to do. So I just wanted to show you, we took you places tonight, believe it or not. Abasai, please share with us your feedback for Lisa Hook's speech. Let's welcome Abasai.
You really nailed it today, and I think the best word to describe it is the word of the day, which is valorous. It was really on point, well researched. Even the implicit parts of your speech were on point. Your pregnant pauses, and then of course when you use the grabber. Just when we were about to doze off, you captivated our attention by calling us to action. I think that really stood out. However, I noticed that you were reading, and you did it so well because I'm not so sure many people noticed. So I will challenge you next time not to read because you have all the elements. But then I would also like to go back to and to comment on something that you always get very right in your speeches. It's you have a very you're very good at your aesthetics. You started off your speech with the background of the desert, and then later in your Toastmasters you narrated the story of the Danish tourist. So I thought that was also something that you do very well in your speech. I have no other words. I think your speech is it's exemplary, and I don't know whether I'm fit enough to give the evaluation. I think next time you must get the golden ladies to evaluate you because you're really very good, Lisa. A job well done.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abisai. That says. And I would like to just say thank you very much for giving encouragement within that evaluation. Our last evaluation that will take place is that of my speech, and Meryl Jabba will be the one evaluating me. Please, let's welcome our District 74 Director, Meryl Jabba, as she shares the evaluation.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster, and especially to you, B, as the speaker. Your introduction really captured us. So if you were a conductor on a platform in a train station, you were selling tickets, we bought that ticket and we got onto that train and went on this journey with you. Your eye contact and your body language and your vocal variety was exemplary. I really can't fault you on any of those. It really put life into the speech and made the audience stay in the train and not get off at the next station. So well done on that. You paint the most amazing word pictures with your language, so that we were with you every step of the way. We could see what you were thinking and what you were feeling. And those pictures, the audience needs a little bit of time to actually absorb. So what I would suggest to you is that you just slow down a little bit and pause. You don't see anybody going through the Louvre on roller skates. People stop and look at each of the paintings. So allow the audience that little bit of time to absorb that picture that you've painted, that idea that you've given us, before you move on to the next one, so that we don't feel as if we're playing catch up. The other thing I would say that would elevate the speech even to a greater level is to share with us some personal stories. So you told us about this 21-day challenge and what you were doing, but you didn't really give us some insight of what feedback did you get from the participants? What was your own experience of this process? And I think that that would have built even more rapport with your audience and given people more insight into your project. So those are two areas that I think that you could improve on. The one thing that I love the most about your speech and some of the other speeches that I've seen you give is that the passion and the commitment and the enthusiasm to your topic is infectious. And as I say, I think that that is one of the reasons that none of your audience got off the train that we bought the ticket for, and that we stayed the journey and we listened to your speech raptured right until the end. Well done. Congratulations, Madam Toastmaster.
CJ, our table topics evaluator, and to just share with us a little bit about how you evaluated these table topics and what you can share with us on that. Let's welcome CJ, and a close to DTM person. He's kissing DTM.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, everyone. A special welcome to our international guests from abroad. We are grateful and we are honored to have you here tonight. Lisa, you really picked the right table topics for tonight. I can see you longing to be back here, in our land of the brave, having the backdrop of the beautiful dunes there. We miss you. We really miss you. You were very spot on with your questions. It was really something that captured my heart. Because it's holiday time. We're ready to just offload, and here we have this wonderful scenarios that you actually entice us with. And then we had this very wise Toastmasters. We can really see that experience counts in their case. It absolutely, the way Monika handled the questions was fantastic. Anyway, it was very good. And I think it gave all the visitors tonight, it gave them an insight into our country. It gave them a little peek into what they can expect.
Donkey Toastmaster of the Day, thank you very much for inviting me to serve as your general evaluator. This was a very well-run meeting, in my opinion. It started a little bit late due to some technical difficulties, yet you did something that most Toastmaster clubs have difficulty doing. You got it back on time, which is just an amazing feat in its own. I like the fact that you were experiencing technical difficulties and you were letting the audience know that they were going on, so that they were being worked in the background, and you kept everyone abreast of the situation as it was going through the process. Very, very well done. I liked the theme that seemed to play throughout 305 2020 Airlines and the ability to fly around Namibia, which it was a unique aspect of the meeting. I must say, Granny B, that's the first time I've ever seen anyone use a graphic like that and stay off to the side, but have an image that everyone could see. Very, very well done. And explaining Namibia to those in the audience that are guests is important. It makes us feel like we are part of the community. I also like the fact that you gave an example of how to say a word in Afrikaans, which that's the first time, and I've traveled to a lot of clubs internationally, that anyone has given me that opportunity. So thank you for that. Very, very well done. I like the fact that the agenda was shared in the chat meeting. Very well done there, because I think it's important that guests as well as the members know what's going on in the meeting and can see how it's playing out. So again, very, very well done there. Elri, thank you for the evaluation. Never be nervous to give anyone an evaluation. We're all just members. So I really appreciated the honest evaluation there. That means a lot. Would love to come back and visit you again at some point in time, possibly when the world tour is over and we have a few minutes. But who knows? Maybe I'll get to Namibia in the future and can come and join your meeting in person, which I think would be a lot of fun. Helping individuals immerse in the culture of the club, and I mentioned that during the Q&A session. You were spot on in doing that. The table topics piece was really well done in putting individuals in the moment in Namibia. And I think anytime you tie things together, it's helpful. We know that we have to keep our meetings in a specific manner, speeches, evaluations, table topics, but that doesn't mean we should do that to the exclusion of our culture, of our club, and the culture of our countries where we meet. So I thought that was very well done there. Meryl, I thought, had a great line when she was evaluating Granny's speech, going through the Louvre on roller skates. Now, I've been to the Louvre before. There is so much of it to cover. You wish you could go through it on roller skates, but you're right. You miss so much. So giving that example when you're speaking about pacing or the pace of a speech, I think helps individuals who may not be used to speaking, who may not be Toastmasters, get the visual representation of what it's all about. A suggestion for when the Toastmaster of the day is the speaker: have somebody else introduce the speaker at that point. Maybe the evaluator could have done the introduction, so that you as the speaker can step away from your Toastmaster duty and then get prepared to be that speaker and in that role. Something else to consider is when you have guests in the audience, they may not know what the objective of the speech is. So just to briefly cover what the objective is really positive for those who may not know what the speaker is trying to accomplish. So again, I think this was a very, very well-run meeting. Very few things that I could say to do differently other than those couple points that I brought out. The word of the day was nice, valorous, and individuals used that. So thank you for that. Again, fun meeting overall. And for those of you who aren't Toastmasters, who may be visiting for the first time, I hope what you noticed was the lightheartedness of the meeting with purpose. So there was a lot of fun had here. There was a lot of laughter. There was a lot of enjoyment, but there was a purpose to the meeting, and everything was worked through accordingly. There's lots of organizations out there that we can belong to. This is the only organization that I know of where you can see the change that you make in people, where you can see the impact that you have in the self-confidence that individuals develop, the self-esteem that they develop, the willingness to try new things. You know, we have seen speakers, individuals, first time in a club, go and they're terrorized. They're grabbing onto the lectern so hard that their blood stops flowing through their fingers, their knuckles get white, and they start swaying from side to side. And when they sit down, you can see that on their face, that they're just white and pallor. But you encourage and we support. And the next thing you know, they're getting up, they're giving speeches, they're commanding the stage. They want to compete in contests. They want to take on leadership roles. You can't see that by writing a check to an organization. You see that by interacting with people. Toastmasters is that environment, that safe environment where we all grow together, where we all stand shoulder to shoulder to support one another, to help each other become more than they think they can be, to help them realize that the only roadblocks to their success are generally the roadblocks that they put up. No other organization that I know of makes such an impact. And now, as a result of these Zoom meetings, of being online, of inviting people from around the world, you're changing the lives of members around the world, and therefore making the global community so much better. COVID-19 and the pandemic has been a problem for all of us. It's been a challenge for all of us. But my philosophy has always been to look at the opportunities within the challenge and find ways to overcome them. This is a perfect example of how we do that, of how we look at the challenge, find the opportunity, and overcome it.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have come in to a safe landing. I want to remind you that this is Swakopmund. It's a bit misty. So as you go, make sure you've taken all your belongings and that you keep it in your home. And then as you walk out, please watch your step or enjoy the trip. And with that, I hand over to our president, and let's welcome Eric Muntz, our president.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Richard, thank you for tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your input, for your feedback, and everything, for your contribution. We really appreciate, and we will take it on board, and we will work on those recommendations that you have made. And even our guest here tonight, if you live in Swakopmund office and you want to come and join us, oh, you're so welcome. Please do it. Come and join us and have a great experience with us. And therefore, I declare this meeting officially closed. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Mr. President. And now, unofficially, whenever we close a meeting, we say, all of you put your cameras on, and we just greet each other and say goodbye, because we very seldom get to see each other. So put it on gallery view that you can see everybody, and let's say goodbye to each other and say thank you for being here and enjoying this time together with one another.
Well done to your club. It was an amazing meeting. Thank you, Richard, for being here. And it really was a meeting with high energy and a great advert for what Toastmasters can give to guests that can convert into members. Well done.
Well done, everybody. Thank you for setting such a high bar for your club. Well done. And I wish you all the best for those of you who are continuing in the speech contest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Everybody
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Well done.
Bye, Grace.
Well, bye.
Cheers, Grace.
Bye.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.